careening into the tire barriers. Boss Landers told us they actually came out unscathed. He had to change the bodywork.
You and I were talking about this when we got back our accommodation. Boss Landers and the rest of the team, they turned damage off.
Yeah, so I think we've all done that on various video games and simulators. One car, I mean, this, as Ryan rightly mentioned, that's really tricky for car racing. Last year, the outright full record in GTD was set by Philip Ellis for Windward Racing, a 158.778. That Windward car, they have got an absolute rocket ship underneath them and a strong driver in Philip Ellis who's going to qualify.
So, I should mention the four cars by number that the 45 and 70 which we're talking about. Those are two of the cars who caused the red flags, therefore will lose their fastest lap. They'll be their qualifying time. Also out there, having to do more than one last lap, I suppose, is the you kind of don't want that anywhere around Sebring, but you absolutely don't want it coming through affected was, where's it gone now? The number 19 and that's the Manchester Aston, yeah, that's really what was behind the wheel. Yours just that making sure that early wise, and that is going to stick with me forever. Otherwise, that will only work for certain people who are listening who don't know Nick was only saying the other day about Motorway Wiseful. Of course they did a racing film. Touch right to the wall for the Lexus RCF. It was on the wall, and that didn't therefore cause the red flag. Both Lexus actually yesterday at various times had thought they weren't too keen to impart that information,
to say the least. The one thing I will say is it sounded like Driveline. The sister car, the GTD Pro car, the Oz Power, and the report I got on this car was that Jack Hawksworth between the two sister cars, but we don't know that for certain.
House style, 2 flat .224, of course, Jack Hawksworth was the pole sitter in GTD Pro last year, 158.7.
And there's a situation where Inception don't seem to be
well, we're keen not to be in the thick of it in the race tomorrow. It's a long race and we just want to make some progress from the back. So yeah, points position places.
And you'll save set tyres as well?
Exactly, yeah. So we got fresh tyres for the whole race. So yeah, we're confident that we can make up that deficit, and it's a much bigger benefit than getting to a little bit something in the start.
Thank you very much. Usually get balls on
the tyres being is probably more important because as it stands right now, if you use a set here,
and last year's winner in GTD Windward Racing, 54, you know, 5-10 places on the grid. It's a calculated. You see the theory there, with a 2 flat .015 and Jack Hawksworth first under the magic 2-minute mark, 159.521, but here he is live on this into sunset. A good lap it is, 159.131 goes top.
Anything under 2 minutes is quick around here. Michelin built fantastic tyres for all of the IMSA cars in the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, but when they're not on the ground, because the car's it's off the ground there as he bounced through turn 17, incredible stuff. So at the moment it's Ferrari, Mercedes, Lexus, Mercedes, Ferrari, Aston, Lamborghini, Ferrari for your top 10, and they're separated by just 2 seconds.
Minutes to go. amazing to see the Ferrari representation in the top 10 because only one Ferrari team tested ahead of this event here at Sebring. So speaking to the teams, felt like they were on the back foot, but maybe not so much. And certainly it helps when you've got a driver the caliber that also to plug in.
It's all to a go. Just a big slide, putting a bit more pressure on his Michelin tyres. And 1 and 2.
3 cars, but not all the drivers did. There was a little bit of skeleton set up there, and also brought in just for the test of conquest racing. Was Smith of the time so that would be relatively encouraging, I think, to be a little bit further up the order and to be a little faster Porsches too. If he's rolled out of it, he's coming into sunset now, so that may well be all she wrote in terms of fast times, albeit.
He sent a picture. Every screen I can see in the office has got the quality on. Oh, Jesse. Jesse's workmates. Doesn't tell us where you're working, but behind us here, so in the way, California, just coming up to 20 minutes before 4 in the UK, 20 before 5 on this Fast Friday in Central Europe. Checkered flag is out, and Mike Skeet sees it first with Hori Fidani following through the AWA Chevrolet Corvette. They're going to look on this receive the Aiken Awards and IMSA. Great story that
It's so difficult, everyone wants to be there, that the Aiken Award and the Truman Award.
In which car as they go out, the 2 Corvettes, Antonio Garcia and Tommy Milner in the 3 and the 4, Neil Verhagen in the number 1 BMW M3 GT3 Evo. We'll find that homologation, I will track it down. Paul Miller Racing. Who else has gone out? BMW from Paul Miller Racing. There were 2 cars this year. 77A All Porsche and Albert Costa in the 81. Still to go.
All week, second in free practice 1, and then fastest in free practice 2 and free practice 3. So in a variety of conditions, they are quick. Let's see what Lauren Ryan is going to do. Now part of the Ford Multimatic team, who come out of Daytona on the rest of the way, leading the championship. Of course, they qualified well.
That car that won Daytona and the 3 drivers that drove it were up in Detroit, and it was a really cool deal that I was fortunate to get to be there for. They were the winning champion.
People that get those cars know that they've had Daytona winners as it came off. That's so cool. That's fantastic.
Ford Mustang. Again, my previous comment about is incredible amounts of suspension on the Multimatic Ford Mustang. More akin to what we'd see in the Fords that go off on the bar.
It's got a bit of Barham Rally about it, the first corner at Sebring. I mean, 115
unloads over the bumps. Seb was absolutely millimetre perfect there, right?
That's right, in one of the practice sessions, you know, the theme of those appearances at the Ford facility. You want to think, if you're a Ford driver that came here and you enjoyed the smooth ride that you had, I bet they learned a thing or two testing this Ford Mustang and various other platforms around Sebring.
For Lamborghini, they haven't really shown an enormous amount of pace so far in practice. Maybe in the single lap qualifying it might be different. Fab Motorsport was their 3rd different manufacturer in 3 years. When they finished with Porsche, switched to McLaren, and then they switched to Lamborghini.
Lamborghini factory entry driver Andrea Caldarelli doing the driving. In Europe, there's been sporadic appearances here in the States, very serious.
Albert Costa.
And that is the Dragon Speed entry, but they get support from racing for the first time, at least as a full season entry. Dragon Speed that has had so much success in
running of the Bubble 112 hours of Sebring, possibly confused with the white and blue Bubble 1 Pegasus liveries on the works Corvettes, particularly when you've got Ferrari, the Dragon Speed as well. We were getting them called mid-engine cars as well. Different grids here and in the WEC, but that white and blue, red, white and blue.
780 Porsche Rexy the Dinosaur coming up to the line now where it's not Henry.
Don't forget, if you are just joining us on the YouTube coverage, you've only listened I've already told you it twice. 2 minutes and 41 seconds still to go. Still orange with the black swooshes down the side of the car coming through the shot to be unpainted. Very sharp drop off, heading down to Sunset.
They've struggled for pace so far in practice at the number 20. So far, Brad Miller with their LMP2 machine. We got Robinson, former winner in the LMP3 class and double champion in the LMP3 class, and it was a rightly motorsport 74 racing the previous combine family outing. Father and son driving with Nicholas Nielsen. Louis Perry's combine will take the qualifying honours, and last year's pole sitter for Eagle Racing, Spike Dragon, DJ.
You can do to the car, you can't that much, which these suspension settings is out, so it comes down to how dips and that means and now he's driving on the dirty part of the track, and somebody's just put on the rear down there. Constant gets the swapper on, and just what we're talking. Meantime, exit of the carousel again causing problems, people getting on the pedal.
The PGI had briefly gone to the top of the timesheets with a 153 point low, mainly in the hands of Mikael Jensen, but Stephen Thomas doing a mega job there, 152.85.
Yellow flag at turn 3. No, continued. Here we go from race control, so continued in behind the wheel of that car to
this Stephen we saw a little while ago. He was off the pace. He did take a cool down lap to try and bring the tires back into the window, and it worked through Sector 1. He had a personal best there. Not quite on the same pace in Sector 2. We'll check the time as he makes the personal best. That did make a jump around Goldberg to get up to 3rd. So the two United cars right now.
best times for Nick in consecutive laps then, because he's only just moved up in the position, and he's found another couple of tenths there, half a second away from the front row for the number 2 United Autosports driver Nick Boyle, the man who won the Truman Award last year. Start.
PJ Hyatt, I think PJ Hyatt is having another go at this as he goes through turn 1 through that first sector. But Steve, yeah, these LMP2 cars are amazing, and these drivers, these are great. These guys have amazing.
PJ just loses the rear end of the car coming out of the Ulman straight, and that will be all the LMS spec were quicker in the first part of, the LMH cars were in the first part of the stint in the four-wheel drive car, but for a stint, the LMP2 cars were about 30 seconds quicker than the current WEC LMH cars, which Rule 2 era and the 18 car and AF Corsa on Rule 3, the 88 VR1, the 52, the 04 CrowdStrike.
Daytona, in a way we really haven't seen from that team in IMSA. They were the dominant force in that race, and but for some misfortune, I think we could have been talking about a BMW win in the Rolex 24. That's the same race chassis as the Cadillac uses, and the Cadillac has been very strong here going back to the DPI era. Also a chassis built by Cadillac, so they could have that in their favor. And then for the last year or so, they've also been getting some help from Owen Hayes for many years at Porsche van, but he's been wearing the BMW colors as of late, and I don't know that this program.
And he's race engineered a winning car in this race. He won an LMP2 car which won here in 2008. Owen Hayes won the race on the pit stand.
So, were they taking a little penalty for something? The only hasn't come up on the screen.
Right, the only penalty we've seen reported is for the Lamborghini, which has a 5-minute blow. Same thing with not turning the data in, I believe.
I think Jack Aiken is getting some cleaning. I think this is tactical.
I'm hearing now that it looked like they cycled the power, but it's the car hasn't pulled away cleanly.
No.
The red front of the wheeling is what we used to see. It's multicoloured behind there, and Jack Aiken's come to a halt. Oh my goodness me, the fastest Cadillac yesterday. He's on the outside. He's now fired up the big V8, the biggest displacement engine. He's waiting for it. He wasn't being jockeyed for position. Only 12 cars out on 3 3/4 lap. While that you'd think there'd be plenty of room. That didn't seem to be the case on the outlap. He stays to driver's left there as through comes the banana boat at number 83, yellow 963. This is not right. He's not just looking for position and gaps now. He's pulled up between turn 2 and 3, and there's not a chance here that he's going to get that round. He's cycling the power again. The lights go on. We're hearing on the pits, the driving at pits radio, Jack Aiken is saying, I recycle the power, it seems secure, all the lights come on as they should do, and as I try to pull away, it just cuts out again.
I thought it was tactical to get some clean air, but no, it's not. It's a technical problem, and when we do get it right. A bit like it was last year, right, where it was a last-minute dash for the cash.
Had 4 minutes of green flag racing. 10 minutes there, but I think it's 12 minutes. 12 minutes to have this session count. It is at the discretion of race control to extend the session. Basically makes this the point. Around about 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, and that is almost a direct simulation of what we saw in qualifying last year.
Yeah.
Where it was, we didn't quite see the absolute ultimate pace because they couldn't get the tyre in quick enough. A bit like the qualifying at Daytona, actually, about 6 weeks ago.
One team that won't be at all upset about this is probably Lamborghini, because they were going to have to sit for the first 5 minutes. They've seen everyone else go out, not be able to put in a lap time. They'll have to sit for a little bit should we go back to green, presumably. Or since the clock is still running, maybe they fulfilled that wait time. They were really close to 5 minutes regardless, and they'll have sticker tires, so they'll be in a really good spot.
And
be able to do the ideal warm-up, and alongside you is zagging, and almost had a coming together there between Matthew Jamini and the Porsche Penske Motorsport machine. He's cut out him from this horn, and now they do a software on that car, and going past one of the BMWs was Shelton von der Linde, and there was perfect in terms of time preparing their hands. It's also Italian Felipe Nasser. He's put in a 47.5. Well, scratch what I said about not getting perfect tyre preparation of Nasser. Motorsport, and so's Blanc Mist and Van Turn and Van der Linde. Half a second separating the first three, but that's impressive from Porsche Penske Motorsport. It's off into the grass of Sheldon Van der Linde.
25 BMW.
Excellent.
We saw a BMW Corvette. To the top he goes, 147 flat. Wow. We might have one with this one. He is the absolute fastest in there anyway. It's always second to Almost again, part of the 60. He's going to be the guy to watch. Here it is. He going to be able to pinch pole position from 3 squares over there. This is real. He's done 1 or 2 one-offs, but he doesn't really know the circuits. The Sebring's relatively new to him, and just going straight on the pace.
Porsche from Acura, from Cadillac, from Porsche, from BMW, from Lamborghini. Still only one car out there. Nobody's out there now. That's it. That's all she wrote. Ryan.
It was close, John. It was really close. Blomqvist did do his personal best, but it wasn't enough to get pole. He missed it by 25 thousandths of a second. That's how tight it is.
Who said BMW?
Oh, are you feeling smug, are you, John? I was 25 thousandths away with my accurate prediction, but wow.
Second's just first loser, Peter.
Yes, it is. The last story of my life.
There's no